reason why I bring up rental demand again is because on the ground, one of the first things that Gordy would do is talk to property managers. We would never go talking to a real estate agent. And no offence to real estate agents, but the reality is if you go into any market and you want to talk to a real estate agent, they're going to want to talk about the properties they've got listed. You know, they need to sell you a property, right? They want to sell you, they're there to serve the vendor. And when you say, oh, what have you got locally, what would you suggest? The first thing they're going to do is go through in their mind, well, what have I got listed at the moment? And they're going to build a story based around the listings that they have, or maybe those ones they put at the top of the listings they're about to lose because they can't get rid of them, right? That's how it works. That's in fairness to the vendor and the real estate agent. So it's no much point talking to a real estate agent. The better person to talk to is a property manager. And the reason why we would talk to a property manager is because we want to know, they're going to get left with this. They're basically saying, you know, we need their insight as to what would be the best properties to buy in that market, and we're going to get into the details of what we ask them, to make sure that we're in a situation where they're going to get left with that responsibility, or at least they're picturing that, they're hoping for that. So they all want us to buy the best properties for that market that suit a number of things. We also get a chance to say, well, what's the vacancy rate for your office? How does it compare to the internet search, right? And the vacancy rate for that office, they will quite often be lower than what you'll find on the internet, but not always. So we always check this personally. For example, we'll get into a market where Gordy will talk to a property manager that says, our vacancy rate is 0.6%. We've got 720 properties, there's 27 vacant, whatever those numbers are, and they're in a changeover phase. You know, someone's moved out within a week, someone else will be moving in within a week, and they're in a changeover phase. There'll be examples of maybe a couple of landlords that have been ridiculous with the rents they expect, or they've been ridiculous in the fact that they won't do maintenance on their properties and they're harder to find tenants for. Whatever those examples are, but we get a real indication as to what the local rental demand is. Gordy will also ask questions like how many properties per property manager, get a feel for how well they're been servicing those people, get a feel for them selling their services, but it starts with property managers. This is a business, guys, you know, and for me, having a tenant in my property, knowing up front that I'm going to always be able to have a tenant, systemising, so I've always got a tenant, it's a business, and for me, the tenant's a very important part of it, right? So we start this process before we even go into a market, right? Second will be property type. What's the most in-demand property type? When you start with a property manager, they're going to basically put up the alarm bells if there's 1,000 vacant units sitting in one suburb of Melbourne. Very unlikely the property manager's going to go, oh, you know, get a unit and I'll look after it, because they're going to go, the last thing I need is another damn unit to try and find a tenant for, right? So the reality is we need to look at this and say, help us identify what the most in-demand property type is for this market. We had one great example where the property managers clearly identified that the properties that were in demand for that particular market were 4-bedroom, 2 living space properties. They were family homes, but the families wanted 2 living spaces. They wanted 2 TV sets. They didn't want to be stuck in one living space. They're finding the one living space property is hard to rent out. And they built 20-something in one complex, all one living space, 3-bedroom home. So it was just like, I was like, why are they doing that? That's just the craziest thing. And they sold them all to investors. And they had months of trying to find the tenants for them, you know. So please start with this in mind and make sure that what you're purchasing matches the highest demand part of that local property market, right? The most in demand.